This weekend we shall be traveling to the state of Uttar Pradesh and Kanpur city in particular in search of various ancient brick temples. The first temple which we shall be visiting is called the Beheta Bujurg temple or the Rain temple. This temple is dedicated to Lord Jagannath. It is said that the typical features of this temple is that some drops of rain begin dripping on its roof 7 days before the rain falls. Although many efforts have been made to know the secret, even after all the surveys, the archaeologists could not find the exact reason for the raindrops. This is the look of the front portion of the temple. It appears to be a mosque or a stupa, but when we go nearby, then we find various Hindu motifs. It is apparent that the original temple got demolished or collapsed over a period of time. In the courtyard, we find a very unique stone motif. This is half stone carving of a stone block. Here we can find the Kiriti Mukha at the top and various floral and geometrical patterns. Kiriti Mukha was a demon created by the anger of Lord Shiva, who ate his own body till only the head remained. Here we can find the Makara-like creature having the trunk of an elephant. This particular stone slab is mysterious. It is mysterious because it is a part of the top slab of the Garbhagriha. Here we can see the roof of the Garbhagriha. Only half portion of this is available. The second part has been removed in order to find out the reason for the falling raindrops. We had to travel through narrow roads and then we ended up at a small village with a population of 4,500 called the Beheta Bujurg. Beheta means flowing and Bujurg means an old man. On the right side we see a huge banyan tree and there's a big well there. This well is supposed to be more than 2,000 years old. The first look of this temple is that of an Islamic structure. But when we see the notice board of the Archaeological Survey of India, it states that it is a Jagannath temple with ancient motifs and sculptures. The local people come here and worship it daily. On the right side, we find there is another small structure. However, that is also a temple. The main entrance door has a typical Islamic architecture, as we can see here. However, it appears that the earlier temple was renovated with a typical Saracenic design. In front is the main temple. The construction of the temple reminds us of a stupa or a mosque. But as we go nearer to the temple, we find that this is one of the most ancient temples made up of bricks. The entrance door and the door portal is made up of sandstone with various geometrical and floral patterns. This is the Ardha Mandapa, or we can call it the vestibule. In fact, when we came inside, we realized that this is not a single temple. This is in fact a Trikuta. In the front is the main shrine of Lord Jagannath, and on the left and the right are two other minor shrines. The door portal had some geometrical carvings and some images which have been lost with time. This is the entrance of the vestibule or the Antarala. We can find the image of a lion. On the left side There's a very small temple, a minor shrine. It was locked from outside and it was pitch dark inside. The door jamb or the door portal had some floral, some architecture, some carvings. But when we peeped inside the minor shrine, we find a very beautifully carved image of probably Lord Vishnu. The headgear and the architecture was very beautiful. On the either right and the left side, we can see two couples, and then a yali-like structure on right and left, having the body of a horse and the head of a lion can be seen. At the bottom, we see one more deity. It is pitch dark inside, so the video quality is very, very bad. Let us try to see what are these images or deities or gods. One thing is very clear, that it is a very beautifully carved image in a single stone. It's a monolith sculpture. At the bottom we find a human-like face. It is also well decorated. Because of the pitch darkness, it's not very easy to identify the gods and the deities. On the right side, we found one more image, one more sculpture. It was richly decorated, highly ornamented, and the garland and the chain-like structure with each can be seen very clearly. I do not know to which period this sculpture belongs, but one thing is sure, that the temple has been built on multiple occasions by different kings, because the sculptures as well as the way it has been built tells us that it has been made over different eras. Here we can see a lady figure and a male figure. A floral, this seems to be a lotus, and then the yali-like structure with the head of a lion and the body of a horse can be seen on the right side. The teeths, each teeth has been made very, very clearly, and mind it, this is a single stone sculpture. Yali has been very well decorated. Indian temples have the tradition of having mythical creatures in the various motifs and the sculptures. This is another yali on the left side, very beautifully carved. The tongue and the teeth can very clearly be seen. Its horns are like that of a goat. This was another sculpture, probably of Lord Vishnu. On the bottom of the door portal, we can see the chakra and the danda, and there are two attendants. This statue has got damaged over a period of time because of natural reasons. This is the second shrine on the right side. It is a very small shrine. The door is locked. It was almost impossible to see what lies inside. Light was very less. But when we took the camera inside, we could see Lord Vishnu lying on the snake Sheshnaga with multiple attendants. I do not know who are these attendants. This is a very famous image of Lord Vishnu. This looks like the image of Pad. This is the entrance of the Garbhagriha. Again, an iron door has been placed here. The top portion does not have any Gajalakshmi image, which is normally the case. The shikhara from inside the shikhara appears to be conical with multiple layers of multiple rings on which it has been made. This shikhara is of the antarala or the vestibule. There is another dome type entrance. This entrance is similar to the one at Bhitargaon. There is another ancient Gupta era brick temple which has similar arch type passage. This is Lord Jagannath. This is a single stone statue which has been carved from a black rock, which I believe should be chloritic schist, also known as sandstone. This is one of the few images in North India which I found which has been very, very intricately carved, and the intricacy of the carving is almost equal to that of the sculptures found at Belur temple or the Halebedu temple. On the left side, we can see Vara avatar. On surrounding the Lord Jagannath, we find all the various avatars of Lord Vishnu, and just at the top we find images of Nagas, and that we find Lord Ganesha at the top. Just on the right and the left side of the head, we find two Naga couple, a Naga couple on the left and a Naga couple on the right. As is normally the case, the Garbhagriha is very, very dimly lit, almost no light is there. That is why the video is pixelating. However, this is one temple in which regular puja is being offered. However, here you can see Lord Varaha, the avatar of Lord Vishnu. It was very difficult to videograph the main deity. Many of the intricate carvings were hidden by the clothes being placed on the sculpture of Lord Jagannath. This is we found very intricate carvings on the various pillars which were inside the temple. However, they need a lot of cleaning. Cement type structure was found. I think the Archaeological Survey of India needs to take up the job of cleaning up these beautiful carvings so that the details of the carvings can be known to the citizen of India as well as the world at large. Various floral patterns, mythical creatures have been carved here, but because of the dirt and the cement, the whole carvings have lost their beauty. That is a mini edicule. On the right side is the big slab on which this Lord Jagannath has been made. This is the back side of the statue. We can see beautifully carved pillars on the back side. This tells us that this temple had multiple columns made up of black stone, and the viewer can find a wooden stick placed between the backside wall and the idol. Here, this is a closer view so that the sculpture does not get pushed back. Now we are moving from the back side of the sculpture. This is another pillar. These are some of the beautiful carvings in the temple. As we look towards the roof, a very interesting pattern is found. We find a square roof, stone slab. However, half of the stone slab is missing. This stone slab was removed by some historian at some stage of time to find out the reason for the raindrops. Half part of this roof slab is lying in the courtyard, which we saw in the beginning of the video. We have used a small torch to see these carvings closely. The viewer can see that beautiful floral patterns have been engraved and carved on the various stone pillars in this temple. Another 2-3 broken pillars are also lying outside in the courtyard of the temple. This gives me an indication that this original temple had collapsed or got destroyed at some stage of time. A part of the temple had collapsed, and then later on some local person, in order to stabilize the temple, used lime mortar to stabilize the temple, and because of which the typical shape like that of a stupa or maybe a mosque is there. This is another panel inside the Garbhagriha, very intricately carved. We have tried to cover as many panels as possible within the temple, despite the light being very, very limited. We can see various mythical creatures as well as floral patterns on the pillar here. These are some animal creatures. This is a mini reticule or a minor shrine made in a pilaster form. This is the overall look and view of the temple complex from the corner of the courtyard. The rectangular structure is the main entrance gate, and then there is a minor temple. The dome is a typical Islamic architecture. When we come on the side of the temple, then we realize that it has got 2 shikharas, not 1 shikhara. On the left side lies the half roof slab, which was removed when people were trying to find out the cause of the raindrops. Here the Kiriti Mukha is there. Some floral and geometrical patterns can be seen. Kiriti Mukha is not so common in North India as compared to South India. This is only the half part of the slab. which is lying in the courtyard. Here we can see a elephant-like creature, maybe a makara. On the right side we can see a peacock-like. These are the pillars which were part of the original temple, which got destroyed or collapsed with time. And similar carvings are there inside which we were not able to see. These are the original pillars of the temple. This probably on the right side must have been one of the Dwarpalas or the attendants. I am not very sure. The viewer may like to have a closer look and let us know the name of the gods and the deities which are in this pillar. To me, they appear to be various incarnations of Lord Vishnu. Now we shall be taking a parikrama of this temple. We shall be moving on the left side and try to see how the temple looks and how is the side view. Again on the left side, a typical Islamic door can be seen, Islamic architecture door. It is made up of sandstone. There are two recesses. They were probably for putting the earthen diya or the earthen lamp. This clearly tells us that the temple has been renovated over many centuries again and again, and this curvilinear look which we find today is purely because the people wanted to stabilize the collapsed temple. The temple is situated on a higher platform, almost 5 to 6 feet high. We did not find any historical structure apart from this ancient temple. There is a view from the corner. Here we can clearly see the two domes. In fact, they have a minaret-like structure which is there in the mosque. There was a small child sitting in the shade of the backside of the temple. I don't know whether he was praying or playing, I don't know. I asked him some questions. He was very inquisitive, but okay, we shall be taking a round of this temple. This is some government building. On the platform itself, the temple priest has made his home and has spoiled the entire look of this beautiful temple complex. On the left side we can find a beautiful water body which has not been cleaned for ages, and I'm sure this would have been the water body for this temple. Presently we found alga as well as water hyacinth all over the beautiful water body. This temple lies in the interiors of the city of Kanpur, and there is no transportation mechanism except for this is another small shrine near the entrance gate. It is totally a typical minor shrine, but when we go inside, then we find Shivlinga and some other minor deities in the temple, minor temple. Well, that's all. If you liked the video, you may like to share it with your friends and colleagues. And if you have got time, come to the beautiful state of Uttar Pradesh and the city of Kanpur.